What is going on, guys? Today is May 25th and I want to give you an update. I know I haven't made a video, but I figure this is probably the best time to give you guys an update on the garden. There's a lot going on and there's a lot of different areas. I don't want this video to be 40 minutes long, so I'll probably just make smaller videos, but I will be going through this update pretty quick, just to show you what we have that's growing. So first thing first, I'll start with the bay trees. We have two of our smaller ones that we started and transplanted into their containers. These ones are the oldest ones, and you can see that they are putting out some new leaves. Looking really good, really healthy. Kind of reminds me of the avocado trees when their leaves are small and tender like this. But it's sending off side shoots kind of from everywhere, and at the base they're starting to send out side shoots. So these guys are doing good. And then we do have some new leaves coming off of this guy. And then this one, like I said, I just put in the pot and it is starting to produce a new leaf. The camera's not going to be able to focus that far down, but like I said, I'm trying to give him a little bit more shade so that he can get established. And then we'll take you into the greenhouse area where we have our overwintered peppers. If you guys didn't check out the video where I showed you what I do with my peppers so that I can keep growing them year after year, check the link in the top right now. And this is doing pretty good. These are all the jalapenos and the serrano chilies that I have, so they're doing really good. And then we have our apple tree, which I did graft, which I will have to make a video on to show you guys, but it is successful with the graft. This is the new growth, and I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like in the apple grafting video. And then we have two of our thornless blackberries. Only one of them is really putting on new growth. The other one pretty much died as soon as I put it in there, so that's kind of frustrating, but I'm just happy that we have one growing. You can see this area with the artichoke is kind of growing all these pumpkins, and that's because I threw that pumpkin in the compost and adding more nutrients in there. That's what ended up happening. We have some more peppers right here, and then our artichoke is actually blooming right now, so it has that beautiful purple color, and there's multiple flower heads. This one's dead, but like I said, gorgeous color. And we'll move over here, another jalapeno pepper plant. We have our buckeye, we have one of our spruce trees, and then we have one of the jackfruit trees, which I put outside to kind of acclimate and get used to it because the other one died, but this one may not survive. We'll see. And here's another apple tree right here, which I grafted in multiple spots, and it is starting to grow from those grafts. So that's exciting to know that we have a potential butterscotch apple. And then if I take you guys over here, there's so much going on. This is why I said I don't want this video to be 40 minutes long, but I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. So actually, I'll take you guys to this section. This is where we have a lot of our new plants, new trees. So all these are avocado trees that are growing. Some of these are my previous grafting attempts that did not work out, but they are growing, so I'll let those keep growing. And then I do have, I think these are persimmons growing in this container. The aloe plants are doing really good. I keep them in this tray where I flood it with water, and then they just absorb the water from the bottom. So the aloe plants are doing good. And here is our strawberry plant, which is starting to throw out some new leaves, and a couple little strawberries here and there. Like I said, I don't want it to be in this container. I want the strawberries to fall over the edge, because all these little the pill bugs and some of the other bugs, they'll just eat at your strawberries when it's on dirt like this. So I want the strawberries to hang out over in the air. But now we'll get to the exciting part. This is kind of where I have a whole bunch of stuff. I have some collards or broccoli and cauliflower. I have some kale. I have the cabbage. I did already take the cabbage that was over there and eat that guy. It was pretty much ready to go, and it was really tasty. But this is one of our cabbages. Our peach trees, these are the grafted peach trees, and they were successful. If you can see that grafting point right there. So I'll make a video on the peach trees and their grafts. But we have a mango tree that is coming in now. The mango is actually starting to grow. And then we have some grapes that I just took cuttings of and I put them in soil, and these ones are still doing okay. I have another mango tree, hasn't come up yet, but we do have our Black Beauty zucchini, which is actually producing, and we are getting some zucchini, so I will be eating that one pretty soon here. We have some onions right here that are getting bigger. They're doing pretty good. Again, more cauliflower, broccoli, kale, stuff like that. And again, the slugs, I need to get rid of that guy. The slugs have been the main issue this year. And this is one of our early snowball cauliflowers. Doing really good. I mean, just the size on this guy alone, and the leaves are super, super healthy. The shade in this area is working out really good. And then we have all of our tomatoes. So we have the Cherry Super Sweet 100. I have a couple in this container. I have a Jubilee tomato in this guy right here. And then I have a Country Purple right next to that. And then I think another Jubilee. And then if I actually take you guys around the corner really quick, I can show you this is another yellow pear. But I have them strung up on pretty much all the wood right here. And with them being strung up, it's a lot easier for me to trellis them. But they are putting out some flowers. So that's going to be exciting once those actually start to develop some tomatoes. But coming back around onto this side, again, more peppers. These were overwintered. And then this is a new one. I believe this is a yellow Hungarian wax pepper. I have some pomegranates that I have from last year. They're doing okay. But honestly, I think I would just rather have these in the ground since I have so many. And then we have some more tomato trees. We have some more tomato plants. I forgot the name of these ones. These ones, like I said, they're kind of, I like to experiment in the garden. Sometimes I won't even label stuff. I'll just try to get surprised by what I'm growing. We have our mint plant, which is doing okay. It got hit really bad with aphids. So that kind of reflects all the damage on the main stems. But new shoots are coming up, so we'll get some mint. And maybe I'll be able to make a video on how to make soap bars with mint, rosemary, and some of the other stuff that we're growing. But that's doing pretty good. Our carrots are doing really good. This is the first year I've actually been able to grow carrots because, like I said, with a slug problem and the pill bugs, usually they eat the seeds as soon as they germinate. So that's what's really annoying when you grow some of these. You have to keep them protected for a little bit, and then once they get established, then they actually do pretty good. But I'll go ahead and I'll just pick a carrot for you guys really quick. You can see it's a nice little carrot. Pretty good. I did have one earlier, but what I do is I pretty much cut this green top off, and then I just slice these up. And you can even feed these to animals that you have, like rabbits, guinea pigs, stuff like that. But this I'll probably throw in a soup or something, but I'll keep it right here for now. And then I might let some of these go to seed so that I have more seeds for next season. But here are some more of the younger carrots. Then I do have some bell peppers right here. I used to have 2 bell peppers right there, but just not enough space in this area next to the rose plant, which is doing really, really good. This year it actually flowered. I think it's a 3-year-old plant, so it's producing a ton of these. But this plant also suffered from the aphids and some mildew, so I sprayed it down with soapy water, but now it's doing good. And then I have a huge Country Purple tomato plant right here, which has some good flowers on it. But it doesn't really matter how I try to trellis this thing. It's just a beast. It's an absolute monster. It's getting really big. So I think we're gonna struggle to keep this supported. But I do have another tomato in the background, which I have started to Velcro to our trellis strings that are connected to the bottom of the pot, if you can follow that string. So these guys in the back are supported, and then I try to use this cage for the Country Purple. Then down here, I did have another yellow Hungarian wax pepper. But like I said, with some of these younger plants, you have to be careful because the pill bugs and the slugs, once they start eating at it, the rest of them think it's just a great opportunity and they'll just destroy it. I do have some cowpeas right here, which are doing okay in the shade. I do have our yarrow right here is producing a flower head, so I'll be able to get some seeds again this year. But again, the yarrow, for some reason, it really likes the shade. I've had it in sunlight and shade, and so far the shade has been the area that it likes the most. Right here, I have some Lilium. So we got some bulbs this year, and I just threw in the grow bag, and I can't believe how tall these things are. I mean, it's pretty much almost to my stomach. And these guys are starting to produce some flowers right there, if you can see that. And then we have the calla lilies in the background behind them. They're doing good, and this one's gonna be this awesome like pink color, and I think there are some purple ones in there. Traditionally they're white, but we'll see once that actually blooms. I can show you how awesome that coloration is. But like I said, these are doing really good, very healthy, no issues. I don't even think I've put any fertilizer in this just yet. Or actually, you know what, I did. I put some fertilizer and some bone meal, and these guys are doing really good. About to produce some flowers, so that will be exciting to show you. And then over here, I have a ton of peas. I have our snow peas and our burgundy bush beans. The burgundy bush beans are producing. Let me just find you one of them. Oh, here we go. So we have 2 beans right here that are growing, and a couple more. These are gonna get dark purple, just like the flowers right here. They'll get really dark purple. And then right here, the snow peas, these guys are pretty much ready to go. I should have actually taken them off the plant by now, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just don't get around to it. And you can see that it is starting to die out, but this area gets a lot of sun. So I'll have to go through and harvest these guys pretty soon here and just collect as many as I can. But this plant is definitely loaded. Again, right next to me, apple tree, a couple grafts. Some of them failed, some of them succeeded. Again, I think this is the butterscotch, so that guy's good. And then this grafting point up here is also good. And this one, I did a different variety of grafting on the top notch, but like I said, I'll do a more in-depth video. Right here, again, kale and some collards. Right here, this is a kale that I let produce seed, so that's why this thing looks so alien. This is a kale plant, and this is the seed pod. These are seeds that I'll save, and it's been really nice over the years, saving thousands of seeds from a single plant, and then just reusing that instead of paying whatever it is, $3, $4 for a bag of seeds. And this is actually a broccoli right next to it. So again, letting the broccoli go to flower, and then it'll also produce seed in these little guys right here, which you can see on the sides, and that saves me some time. I have our blueberry bush, which again, if you guys saw in the last video, it died back, and then I started to water it and put it in the shade, and now it's revitalized. It's came back. It has a whole bunch of new leaves. And then I do have some salad greens in here, again, letting them go to seed, and then I'll save those seeds. And then underneath that, we have cauliflower. This is the first time I was able to grow cauliflower, but again, because it's so warm and it's in the summer, all of them pretty much just started to develop flowers. And these, again, I'm gonna let go to flower because I want more seeds. But yeah, first year ever growing cauliflower, but the heat just really sent them up really quick, so I didn't have time to harvest. And you kind of don't want to harvest them once they start sprouting, these flowers, because they don't taste all that great. But like I said, letting those go to seed so I can get more, and then take you guys around to this side. And this is, again, another tree spot. So avocado trees, I just made a video about pruning them, which you can click on in the top right hand corner. But we're just letting these avocado trees try to get some size so that we can actually go ahead and try to graft them like I did this guy over here, so that we get more opportunities to grow more fruit. And then over here, we have a couple of the younger peach trees. These again are about 2 years old now, but they're seedlings, and these ones I don't really take care of as much as my other ones. I want these to just continue growing so that I can graft new varieties onto them. And then down here, I have a daylily, which is doing okay. I have 2 fig trees, which I ordered online, doing really good. This is the yellowneck fig. It's already put out a couple new leaves, and it's going to put out some new ones soon. This is the Fignomenal fig, doing pretty good in these containers. I think it's better to just have them in this container so their roots can get as big as they want, and then when the time comes to put them in some of the bigger containers like what the apple and the avocados have, or even directly in the ground, it'll be a lot easier to just throw them in there without damaging the small baby roots. They'll have a well-established root system. There's another daylily, another avocado tree, and so that pretty much gives you guys the rundown of this area in here. I'll go ahead and take you over to the raised garden bed and show you some more. All right, we're gonna go to the flower bed first. This is our pear tree. It has started to put out a couple new pears. This year put out a ton of flowers, so hopefully we get a lot of good pears this year. The side shoot that's next to it, like I said, I'm letting this guy grow as much as possible because the main trunk is so heavily damaged and it's just not gonna be able to support fruit in the future. So I'm letting this side shoot grow and become the next tree that takes over. We have our dahlias over here and a lot of wildflowers. If you guys remember, I threw, I think, 1,200 seeds out here. Then we have one of our dahlias, which the dahlias didn't really get all that tall this year. But, I mean, this is going to be an absolutely gorgeous flower. Nice, cool coloration. And then we have a couple of our other plants. Our tulips that were over here have died back. So we'll see if they come back next year. And then over on this side, next to these dahlias, we have the nasturtium, which produced a ton of flowers. It is starting to get pretty hot, so they're dying back, but doing good. And then this fig, this is our Violette de Bordeaux, if that's how you say it. This guy has taken off. If you guys remember, I was afraid that it was probably dead because it wasn't producing any leaves. But I think once it got used to being outside and seeing the sun and the day and the night time cycles, it's actually doing pretty good. So we're gonna let this guy keep growing, and I might throw some compost or something around the edge. And then now the huge reveal. This is our raised bed. If you guys remember, this thing was not like this. This is craziness. A lot of stuff is growing. We have a ton of nasturtiums. We have the nice red nasturtiums, just again doing really good. And then we have some more of the nasturtiums over here. And then if you guys remember, we put the low-lying wildflowers, but this is not as low as I thought it was gonna stay. I thought they were gonna stay probably about half the height, and these things have grown taller than our potatoes over there. So all these taller flowers, these are the bachelor buttons, I believe. And then we have a couple of these other flowers all over the place, which are really nice because they bring in the small little pollinators and wasps and other bees and stuff that'll take care of the pests. And then we do have some poppies that are coming in looking pretty good. But like I said, the nasturtiums kind of are just going crazy. The lettuce in here also is going crazy, but it is pretty much going to bolt, so this stuff isn't going to taste the best. But like I said, they're doing really good. And this actually helps me so that next year I know don't plant as many lettuce seeds. But like I said, I can't complain. This year, for how closely these are seeded together, they're actually really healthy, look pretty good. And then our potato is starting to produce some flowers right here. So as soon as this thing dies back, I'll be able to show you all the potatoes that are down there, which is really exciting. Our compost, again, doing really good, always mixing it up day after day. But this is kind of the situation that happened last year, and I'm gonna let this happen again this year, is that we get a lot of stuff that grows in the compost, and the pumpkins always grow in this spot. I think it's just because I try to avoid scratching this. So again, I'm gonna let this pumpkin right here grow out here because it's just bare soil. And I'm gonna try to train it so that it follows the flower bed. But last year we got some big pumpkins, and then I took a whole bunch of the pumpkin seeds this year and threw them in this corner. And if you guys remember in one of the other videos, there's probably about 200 seeds. So I'm interested to see how they compete against each other. And as soon as they start getting a little bit bigger, they're gonna try to get onto this fence. So I may remove this. The whole reason why I have this fence up is so that the dog doesn't go in there and dig them up or dig up our peach tree, which again, this thing has taken off and is doing really good. It did have some of that curly leaf disease at first at the beginning of the season, and then out of nowhere, the curly leaf disease just kind of disappeared. So I don't know if that's something that I need to watch out for still or what, but this tree is really healthy, doing really good. And if you guys remember, we tried to graft this. The graft was unsuccessful, but because it was unsuccessful, it sent off a lot of side shoots. And like I said, this thing is growing really, really good. It's just taken off and it's really healthy. And then I'll remove this fence so that some of these branches can come over this way and give some of our other plants and whatnot some shade. But I will try to graft this again next year. Coming over here, we have our orange tree, which if you guys remember, I put some compost around and we have some irrigation, one of our lines that goes straight to it, and it put out a ton of flowers this year. It's looking really healthy, put out a lot of branches, and there's going to be a ton of oranges again this winter. So looking forward to seeing a lot of this growing in the fall, and we'll have some delicious oranges again for next year. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I just want to give you a quick update of what's going on and showing you that we just have wildlife all out here. But like I said, good year, good crop this year so far. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next video.